hold on really quickly. There we go. Okay. Well, welcome. And I just wanted to pop on really quickly and talk about directorship and the sense of urgency. And if you have ever had any desire to be a leader in this company and have any desire to make more money or have more influence in other people's lives and to radically change your life and really take full advantage of the marketing plan, then you want to be a sales director. And if you are a leader, and I know I texted some of you and reached out to some of you that I see as leaders in my organization, that I would love for you. I believe that you could totally be a director, and I would love to see you as a director. I think you'd be an incredible director. And of course, everybody has fears and doubts and insecurities of like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do that. And I had them too. Everybody does, but it's just like anything else. Like you can, what we teach you, like you will learn as you go. And once you get to the directorship, like you won't know what you're doing until you get there. That will teach you. But if you have a desire for more and really want to take full advantage of all that is available in this marketing plan and in this opportunity, and you really want to make a bigger difference in other people's lives, and of course make more money in the process and more great girlfriends. And I really believe that at the directorship level is where the marketing plan really starts. So all that to be said, that if you have any desire to do any of that, directorship is actually on sale right now. I have never in 13 years seen them have the qualifications and have the entering into directorship be so easy that if you ever had a desire to be a director, now is the time. So basically there is a window right now between now and December 1st to get into DIQ. DIQ is Director and Qualification. And I'll explain what that means in a second. But right now, the company has a window that they had it from October to December 1st as far as getting into DIQ. And I have never seen them do this. And then the qualifications to finish DIQ are incredibly low as well. And so basically they are looking for leaders. Mary Kay wants leaders. They want women to rise up. They really want there to be more leaders in this company and more directors. So if you have more questions about like the pay scale and all of that, but basically you would get paid for the same amount of effort. You would get paid like 3 to 4 times more. Now, directorship it can be something you do full time like myself, but there's a lot of people that have full-time jobs and still are sales directors. And so a minimum director is usually going to work about 8 to 10 hours a week. So it doesn't have to take a lot of time. And you could make the minimum director is usually going to be looking at 30 to 50 grand extra a year. So it is very minimal activity for a lot more income if you can, like once you get to directorship. So how you do it, it's pretty simple. There's only one qualification to get into DIQ, which I have never seen them do this. Usually there's like a couple different things you have to do. So you only, at the end of the month, at the end of this month, at the end of November, so going into December 1st, you would only have to have 8 active team members. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but 8 team members, and you could go into qualification. It's normally 10 and a couple other things. You have to be a star and have sold a certain amount. So you only have to have 8 people by December 1st to go into DIQ, which is super simple. It's not hard. It's super simple. If you make up your mind, because you guys are leaders and you are on tonight because I know you are leaders and that you have it in you, that I know if you made a decision to really go all in and to really throw your heart on the line, you could find 8 people to join your team. It's not that complicated. And then to finish DIQ, normally normally the production is 18,000. That you go through a qualification of 1 to 3 months, and you only have to do 13,500. And so the qualification is a lot lower. But basically, now is the time. Now is your window to get into DIQ by December 1st. So you don't have to worry about afterwards. If you ever had a desire to move up, this is the month that it is critical. Like I wish I could just be like, oh my gosh, I have never seen them offer this kind of opportunity. That if you've ever had a desire to be a director, now is the time. Now is the time. And I'm going to talk about a couple things, a couple takeaways that I got out of I know I posted a sermon by no, it wasn't a sermon. Sorry, it was an interview by T.D. Jakes with Stephen Furtick, which is actually the author of the book that we're going to be going through in our book club, Crash the Chatterbox. But if you didn't watch that, go back and watch it. It was so good. There were so many just great lessons about entrepreneurship in general. But I'm just going to kind of recap some of the big ones that I really believe apply to those of you who have a desire to be a director. And a lot, like about half of you on tonight, as I'm looking about who's on, about half of you have said, half of you are brand new to this whole thing and don't even know what directorship is. And you're kind of like, what in the world is she talking about? And so that I know half of you. And so if you have more questions, we can talk more, but basically know that if you're a leader and you want to have more influence, that now is the time. But then the other half of you, I know I've heard all this information before, and I know that you've heard about DIQ, and I've heard that you've heard about all the benefits of being a director and about the whys and the hows and all of that. But for you guys, it's just making a decision. For all of you, it's just making a decision that you've got to know that it's critical that what you do in November, that it is literally going to be pivotal, I think, to your Mary Kay career, if you have a desire to be a director. And so I'm just wanting to, my whole point of tonight is to give you guys a huge sense of urgency that I know when they launched this in September about the 8 and in, everyone was all excited about it. But then October 1st went by, November 1st went by, and I do not want you to let December 1st go by if you ever have had a desire to be a director in this company, okay? So here's a couple things that I took away from that interview, which I would recommend you go back and watch and then watch again because there was so much great stuff and so much great just life wisdom from him and his book, which probably his book, Soar, it inspired me to want to go get the book. It's probably going to be one of our next books that we'll go through in our book club. But here are some of the things that I took away from what he said. First of all, he said, your miracle is never in what you lost, but in what, is never in what you lost, but in what you have left. So some of you have set the goal before of going into DIQ, and you maybe have lost team members, or maybe some of you have asked people if they wanted to join Mary Kay and they didn't, and you focus on what you've lost instead of on what you have left. And the lesson that you learned from that experience, that you cannot focus on what you lost, because if you needed that person, they would have been on your team still, that you don't need them. You have the strength within you to go find those people and focus on what you have left and the resources that God has given you and that you have left, okay? So that was first of all. And what can you do with what you have been given? This time, these next 3.5 weeks that we have, what can you do? How about you be solution-minded? That's another thing that he talked about is our society is so focused on, oh, I got this going wrong and that going wrong, and focus on the reasons why they couldn't, for you guys, why you couldn't be a director and why you don't think you'd be a great director, instead of why not focus on, the reasons why you could be a great leader and how this would totally change your life. Some of you I know work 24/7, have very stressful jobs. What if you could do something like this, that it would change your life and you'd work a lot less time and actually have fun and enjoy what you are doing and not be so stressed all the time and have joy in what you're doing? How about you focus on the good that it could bring you and the confidence that it would do? I think that's the best reason to become a sales director, is how it builds your confidence and the personal growth and the personal development. That's why you need to become a director, is to prove to yourself that you can do anything you set your mind to, and that you can encourage other women that they can do anything they set their minds to. Anyways, total side note, but focus on why this will be great for you instead of why not. And focus on, what it will do for your life instead of all the reasons why you don't think you could be a great director, okay? But what he said that I really loved is that he said, your past is going to try and pull you down. That when you're going for something big and when you're wanting to really stretch yourself and go for a big goal like this, your past, which means all those doubts and those insecurities, or maybe in the past you've gone for something and it didn't work out, or whatever. We got all this chatter going on that we're going to talk a lot about in our book study. But that past is going to try and pull you down and shrink you back and keep you where you are right now. That he said, if you want to break through that next level, he gave the example of the Wright brothers and them having to overcome the law of gravity, that he said the law of gravity was really holding them back, like they're playing back from getting off the ground, that they had to go at it harder and faster to break through the law of gravity, to get above, to get their plane in the air. And he said the same thing is with your goals and with your dreams. If you've ever had a desire to be a director, you've got to go at it harder and faster than you have ever gone at it before, if you're going to break through to that next level and not let the past and whatever has happened before drag you down. And it's got to be the same with this, that if you have a desire to be a director, you've got to go at it fast and hard and do way more activity and do more than you have ever done before, and really ramp up your activity, get into massive activity so that you can break through to that next level, and not let your doubts and your fears and your insecurities and your inadequacies hold you back from this dream that God has given you. If God has planted the dream in your heart to be a director and to have more influence, and I believe, to change the world, because you guys, in this company, we change women's lives. We change women's lives. And when you change a woman's life, it builds her confidence. And when you help that woman build her confidence, you help her pass it on to her kids and to her husband and to her, her circle of influence and her coworkers and her mom and her sisters and all the people that she is around. You help her pass that gift of her confidence onto other people, that you literally change other women's lives. But you got to do it for yourself first so that you can help other women. But you guys, you have to know that if God has given you this dream, you have got to go at it harder and faster than you've ever gone at anything before, because there will be things that'll try and hold you back. Okay, so that's what I got out of that. And then you don't go into this business, and you don't go into business. He talked about anyone that did anything great in the world, they didn't go into business to make money. They went into business to be solution minded, to help other people. And you have to be the same thing with this business. You've got to be solution minded and truly be focused on other people. He said this, and I've been saying this, for a while, is you've got to get over yourself and know that it's not about you. It's not about, oh, am I going to say something dumb? Or what if she's not interested? Or maybe this isn't her cup of tea. No, this is about, you've got to get over yourself and what she's going to think about you, and focus on how it can bless her life. And maybe she is yearning for an opportunity like this. And maybe she is looking for, something more for her and her family. Maybe she's just looking for something fun and some girlfriend time. You guys, you've got to focus on her. Be solution oriented. The other thing that he talked about is that you've got to take responsibility for your life. If you aren't where you want to be in your business or in your life, maybe with your business, but maybe with other things, maybe with your health or with your finances or with your relationships, you've got to take responsibility for that and be willing to do something different, right? That this is the month that you have got to be willing to do something different. That if you've said you want to be a director, if you've said all this, and that's just been lip service, that now is the time to do it. Now is the time to back it up with activity and not just be all about talk, you guys. That you've got to take responsibility for what you have or haven't done. Don't beat yourself up about it, because don't let your past haunt you, but take responsibility that you can change that right this second. Right the second after we get off this meeting, you can literally change that and get into action tonight. Literally tonight, and fill up your books. But you got to take responsibility and stop blaming other people. I heard it said, not in this interview, but if you're blaming other people, you can't hear God's voice, and you can't bless people when you're blaming other people. So sometimes I've heard my consultants say, well, she canceled because of this, and this, or she wasn't interested because of this, and this, or, I didn't get my red jacket because of my team members. No, you can't be blaming other people. We got to take responsibility, right? We got to take responsibility. Ooh, this is a big one. Don't let your circumstances determine your destiny. Don't let your circumstances determine your destiny. And like I said before, about half of you on tonight, I know, have wanted to be a director for a long time. But you're maybe letting your circumstances of maybe a bad month, maybe October didn't go how you wanted to go, maybe September didn't go how you wanted to go, maybe November isn't starting off how you wanted to go, maybe you've gotten sick or had some physical ailments, maybe you've had a bunch of cancellations, maybe your husband isn't super supportive. I don't know what your circumstance is, but don't let your circumstance determine your destiny. That if you are called to be a leader and to really change other people's lives, don't let that bad month or that sickness or that situation stop you from your destiny and something that can really help other people. Does that make sense? Get a vision about where you want to go and be focused on your vision, not on your circumstances. Does that make sense? The last thing that he talked about, and this is really what I wanted to bring home the point, and he talked about this at the very end, which I thought was so powerful, and he talked about the cost of hesitation. And you guys, this was like an hour and a half in just a few minutes of me recapping, but there was so much good stuff, so much good stuff. I would definitely go watch it, but he talked about the cost of hesitation. And that really was why I wanted to have you guys listen to that interview, is because now is the time that if you, like I said, had a desire, that what would be the cost of hesitating and really not going all in and not really jumping in and making it happen, you guys. If there is a cost to your hesitation, you talked about how things have a rhythm, and our whole world is in a rhythm that, if God has given you this time and this window where he says, move, that it's your time to be a director. Aaron, it's your time to be a director. Kim, it's time for you to be a director. Sarah, it's time for you to be a director. And we hesitate, that we stop the rhythm and we stop, all of the things that God has in store for us if we would have taken advantage of that window. Now, that doesn't mean that if we didn't take advantage of the window, that God's not going to bless us later. But he also, we don't know what we'd be missing, that our hesitation cost us lots of money, it costs us lots of time, and it costs us lots of people's lives that we can be changing and influencing. That we've got to get over our own fears and doubts and insecurities and inadequacies, and I'm going to say this a million times, and we've got to focus on the cost of us not really going for it. The cost of us not really taking advantage of this window. What would you be missing out on? And how would your family be affected? How would you be affected if you didn't become a director in the next 2 months? Because you guys, the reality of it is, you can get in, you can be in DIQ by December 1st. You could be a director by Christmas. You could literally be a director by Christmas and be making 3 to 4 times the amount of money, having, 10s to 20 to 50 times the amount of influence. You'll be changing so many more people's lives. You'll have, I'm sure, 10 times more confidence by Christmas if you wanted to. That I want you to think about what would be the cost of not having that, and what would it do for your life, you guys. So there is a cost in hesitation, that every time we hesitate, there are always consequences. There's always consequences. And the other thing that he said, which I thought was so cool, is that you guys are on beat tonight because I see something in you. I see something in you, and I see greatness in you, and I see a leader in you. And he said that people who are gifted and people who are leaders, they can't see it themselves. They're blinded to it themselves. That because he said, we can see other people, but we can't see ourselves the way other people see us. And so just know that you're blind to yourself and your greatness, but I see it in you, and that's why you're on tonight, okay? So you may doubt yourself, but know that I believe in you and God believes in you. And I can guarantee there's a circle of people around you that believe in you, that you've got to know that now is the time, that you have been created and been called for such a time as this. And then at the end, he talked about, which I thought was so good, is that he talked about, I think it was Samuel that had the dream, and he heard God's voice. He got up and said, did you call me? Did you call me? And basically he said, God, if God calls you, you want to say you're ready. You want to say you're ready. That if God calls you and God gives you that window and God says move, says it's time to move, that you have got to move and get into action. And don't be focusing on why we couldn't do it and our fears and our doubts, but get into action. He said, do not miss your turn. Do not miss your turn. Do not miss your time. Because if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. That's what he said. And that really hit home with me that, I have a desire to become a national, and if those of you that don't know what that is, it's a leader of leaders, and it is I have to have 20 directors in my organization to be a national sales director. I have a desire to be a national sales director because I want to lead leaders, and I want to see women really realize their God-given potential, and as cheesy as it sounds, be all they can be, right? And really be, step into their calling and step into the vision that God has given them for their lives. But I know that if people don't do it now, and if I don't really go for this now, and if I don't really have this conversation now with you, then it may never happen. That this is me basically trying to kick you in the butt as nicely as I can and say, you've got to do it, that you've got to do it, because I have never seen them give this window, that you never know when the next opportunity is going to be like this, that now is the time to do it. You're going to be afraid. There's going to be a push. You're going to have to really stretch yourself. That, stop saying, I'll wait till next month. I'll wait till January. I'll wait till the new year. There's going to be a push, and there's going to be a stretch, and you're going to be uncomfortable. And, it is going to require, you stepping out of your comfort zone. But if not now, then when? If not now, then when? Because there is never going to be a perfect time to change your life. There's never going to be a perfect time to step into all that you were made to be. That now is the time, if you ever had a desire to do it. So hope you can hear my sense of urgency, but hear my heart and my compassion, that I care about you. And I know that you're afraid, but I also know that if you're on tonight, that several of you, I think it's more than half of you now, have had a desire to be a director for a long time. That now is your window. Now is the time to suck it up and go at it harder and faster than you have ever gone at anything before, and really throw your heart over the line, because now is the time to do it. And get in December 1st. You could finish by Christmas and join us in Atlanta. Or you could finish by February 1st and be guaranteed a spot at $1 Million Weekend with me. And I just got to talk to LaRonda Daigle. She's the national that's going to be there. And then there's going to be $11 million directors, the top 11 directors in the entire company. You're going to get to spend time in their space and learning from them. And literally almost the entire thing is paid for. And you are guaranteed a spot when you become a director by then, you guys. So why not? But you've got to get into DIQ December 1st to make that happen. Why not you? Why not you? Why not you? Okay, so you've got to go at this harder and faster than ever before. I have a couple more minutes. I want to wrap this up so we can get into our book club. But I really want you guys joining us in Atlanta. And so here's the activity. Well, first of all, I'm going to say it again. The next 2 weeks are critical, and they are really pivotal to making this happen. These next 2 weeks, I would say, are huge, because the last week is Thanksgiving, and you can still do a lot on Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is really just a day. But these next 2 weeks are going to, when you really want to max out your bookings. I would have an incredible hostess plan. I also posted another great video today. You guys, I'm constantly learning and growing. I'm posting things that I'm learning and growing from other people, because that's what leaders do. Leaders don't ever get to a place where they have arrived and they know everything. No, I'm continually learning and growing. And I got a great idea about the beauty experience, which is an awesome booking tool. You could literally book 10 beauty experiences tonight. A lot of you that are on tonight are local. And tomorrow night at our meeting, we're going to be offering beauty experiences every Monday night in November. And then those of you in Pueblo, it's going to be Thursday nights as well. And so why not book people into a beauty experience? It's the new cool buzzword. So anyways, you want to maximize this November like you have never, ever, ever, ever done anything in your business. I want you to go all out and full in. So here's what I would recommend. This is what the activity looks like, because here's what I know is it only takes eight active people to get there, but you've also got to focus on the work. If you focus on the work, the results are going to come. If you just sit here hemming and hawing, how am I going to get 8 people? How am I going to get 8 people? I don't know how to get 8 people. Guess what? You'll go round and round in circles and you put away and do nothing. If you focus on the work and focus on getting this product on people's faces and then sharing the business opportunity with people, you will get the results that you need, okay? So I want you at least minimally, if you do not already have 10 appointments on your books right now, that would be priority number 1. I offered a challenge to have 10 appointments on your books by the 5th. You get a free lipstick or one of the new colors. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm offering this just for you guys. If you miss that, you have till the 7th. 2 days from now to get 10 appointments on your books. I'll still give just you, those of you that are listening, a free one of the new colors for free, because I want you to have a sense of urgency to fill up your books right now to fill up your books. And so this means you call people and you say, oh my gosh, I have a huge goal. I'm trying to earn this one of the new products. I need to get 10 appointments on my books. Can we just pencil something in? It needs to be for the month of November. Can we get it on our books? Okay. So that needs to be priority number 1, because here's what you need to be doing is I would say you need to have at least 10 parties, minimal 10 parties in the month of November, minimal. Those of you that work full time, which is, I know a lot of you guys, that's only like maybe 4 or 5 hours a week tops. Because it'd be like 2 parties a week. I mean, really 2 to 2.5 parties a week is what it would be. Not hard to find that time, guys. Book them into an event. Have me do the work for you. It's brilliant. anyways, so 10 parties this month, and you want to be sharing the business opportunity with anybody and everybody. Here's the deal. If you share this business opportunity with passion and excitement, you can recruit somebody tonight. And literally, I would challenge you, go home and why not recruit somebody tonight? But if we want to go through the numbers, usually 1 and 3 and 4 are going to sign. If you can get them talking to me. Now, that needs to be a conversation either over the phone or face-to-face. If you don't live local to me, which some of you don't live local to me, then it needs to be over Skype or over FaceTime where I can connect with them and see their faces. They can watch a video, but the recruiting odds of that are way, way, way lower than face-to-face and actually having a conversation and connecting with someone. Those of you that are local, get them to an event. Get them to something. Get them in front of me, or I'll meet for coffee. I'll meet for coffee anytime, anywhere with someone. But if you have 0 team members right now and you needed 8, first of all, I would make a list of everybody you know who could use something more in their life, who you think could really be blessed by this opportunity, and then ask them to just listen. I'm going to be challenging you guys. If you had 0 team members right now, then you would need to have 8 times 4 is what you need to have. I can do math. 32. We need to have, right? Yeah, 32 people listen this month. Either over the phone or whatever, and you could easily be in DIQ easily. So make a list of, I'd say 50 to 60 people and tell them, hey, I have a goal to have 32 people just listen this month. Here's a challenge that I'm going to be offering just to you guys. Ready? Okay. Your goal is to have 20 people listen to the business opportunity by the 15th. Okay. So I'm giving you 2 challenges that are just for you guys that are going to give you the things to focus on, because like I said, I want you to focus on the activity. When you focus on the activity, then you will get the goal, right? So those 2 things, I want you to have 10 parties on your books ASAP. ASAP. I'm extending it to the 7th just for you. Now you want to keep that momentum going because I want you having 10 parties this month. And obviously we know they're not all going to hold. So all the ones you get on by the 5th or 7th, they're not going to hold. You're going to be continually working, right? But I want you to have 20 career chats by the 15th. 20 career chats by the 15th, and I'll give you one of the new products as well for free, just for you guys. So what that means is that we need to start talking to some people. We need to be setting up some 3-way calls. We need to be saying, hey, Sarah's getting into DIQ. We need to have 20 people listen by the 15th. Can you give us 15, 20 minutes of your time? All you need to do is just listen. Got it? It's that simple. So that's the activity I want you to be focused on. But you guys, they extended that recruiting promo with the charcoal mask. So you could easily get you could get your 8 team members this month, even if you have 0. Even if you have 0, it does not matter. It literally is a decision. I have seen people get into DIQ within 48 hours of signing up. It's because they made the decision. So make a decision right now that if you really do want to be a director and you've said, yeah, gonna, that you stop getting off the gun-up train and you get into the action of, I'm making it happen train. And I'm going to be a director because this is my window. Now is my time. And I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to do it. And then you get into action. Okay. So I hope that helps. Who can you get in? Who can you get in by tonight? I am going to extend this as well, just for you guys. Through tomorrow, I offered this for some people through tomorrow. So through the 6th, anybody that signs up, I'll give them a free satin lip. So they're going to get 46 extra dollars because of the 2 masks, and then they'll get a free satin lips if they sign up by Monday night. That gives you a sense of urgency to follow up with people with excitement and passion and say, look, I want you on my team. You've been talking about this. Let's get this in. There is no time like the present. And be talking to people about making extra money for the holidays, you guys, because there are a lot of people that could use extra money for the holidays, right? So anyways, once again, be solution-minded, focus on who can you bless, whose life can you change over these next few weeks. So I'm excited to see who's up for the challenge. If you're up for the challenge, I want to hear from you. And now is the time in case you haven't got that concept. All right. So I know it's 8:02 and I went over a little bit, but I definitely want to, I'm going to pause the recording or I'm going to stop the recording, but we're going to stay on for our Chatterbox meeting, okay?